In the land of Sparklewood, where the sun shone bright and the air was sweet with the scent of honey, there lived a kind and gentle princess named Sophia. Sophia had long, golden hair and sparkling blue eyes that twinkled like the stars on a clear night. She lived in a beautiful castle made of crystal, surrounded by a lush green forest, with her best friend, a wise old owl named Professor Hootenanny. Sophia loved nothing more than to explore the forest, discovering hidden streams and secret meadows. One day, while wandering deeper into the woods than she had ever gone before, Sophia stumbled upon a hidden path she had never seen before. The path was overgrown with vines and shrubs, and it seemed to be calling to her. "Professor Hootenanny, look!" Sophia exclaimed, tugging on the owl's wing. "I've found a new path. Let's see where it takes us." Professor Hootenanny blinked his wise eyes and nodded his head. "Very well, Princess. But be careful, for we do not know what dangers may lie ahead." Together, Sophia and Professor Hootenanny set off down the winding path. They walked for what felt like hours, the trees growing taller and the air growing quieter with every step. Finally, they came to a clearing, and in the center of it stood an enormous, ancient tree. Carved into the trunk of the tree was a message, written in letters that shone like silver in the sunlight: "Turn back, travelers, while you still can. For in the heart of this forest, danger lies in wait. A wicked sorceress weaves her wicked spell, and only the bravest of hearts can break it well." Sophia's heart skipped a beat as she read the words. She had never heard of a wicked sorceress before, and she couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement. "Oh, Professor Hootenanny, let's go on," she cried. "I'm not afraid of a little danger." Professor Hootenanny looked at her sternly, but Sophia could see the hint of a smile in his eyes. "Very well, Princess. But remember, bravery is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it head-on." Together, they continued on their journey, the path growing narrower and darker with every step. The air grew colder, and Sophia could feel a strange, tingling sensation in the air. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. She was tall and thin, with long, bony fingers and eyes that glowed like embers. Sophia could feel her heart pounding in her chest as the sorceress spoke in a voice that sent shivers down her spine. "Welcome, little princess," the sorceress cackled. "I have been waiting for you. You see, I have cast a spell over the forest, and only the heart of a true princess can break it." Sophia stood tall, trying to hide the fear that was growing inside her. "I'm not afraid of you," she said, her voice shaking slightly. The sorceress laughed, a cold, mirthless sound. "We shall see about that," she said, waving her hand. Suddenly, Sophia felt herself being lifted off the ground, suspended in midair by some invisible force. Professor Hootenanny flew up to her, squawking loudly, but even his sharp talons couldn't penetrate the sorceress's spell. Sophia closed her eyes, trying to think of a way to escape. And then, she remembered the words of the ancient tree: "Only the bravest of hearts can break it well." She took a deep breath, and let her heart fill with courage and kindness. As she did, a warm, golden light began to emanate from her body, filling the clearing and driving back the darkness. The sorceress let out a shriek of rage as Sophia slowly began to descend back to the ground. When she finally touched down, Sophia felt a surge of power and confidence. She walked up to the sorceress, looking her straight in the eye. "You may have power," Sophia said, "but I have something you will never have, a heart full of love and kindness." The sorceress let out a defeated cry, and with a wave of Sophia's hand, the spell was broken. The forest was once again filled with light and life, and the creatures of Sparklewood emerged from their hiding places, cheering and celebrating. As Sophia and Professor Hootenanny made their way back to the castle, the princess felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She had faced her fears and overcome them, and she knew that she would always be brave enough to stand up for what was right. From that day on, Sophia was known as the bravest princess in all the land, and her name was whispered in awe by the creatures of Sparklewood. And every time she looked up at the stars, she remembered the ancient tree's message, and the power of a heart full of love and kindness. The end.